Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. And yes, I still have my beautiful locks of hair. They were not taken at the North Texas Midnight Auction. There were enough small jokes at my expense. My soul was for sale, but hey, who knows how much that's worth? That's a gamble if you want to invest in that. But there's been some news events that I got to catch up on in our little corner of the universe. And one of them is Mike Mearls is, I don't know, I want to say leaving Chaosium. He got a job at Chaosium, uh, well, according to his LinkedIn in February of 2024. But I think it was announced in May. But he was there as creative director of, or executive producer of RPGs, which is great. He was there for a year, and now we have this announcement. Chaosium has announced several personnel moves. By the way, last year, when Mike got his position, there were a total of 6 personnel moves. That were so apparently when they do personnel moves, they do sweeping personnel moves, including the hiring of a new CEO. A recent now, I when I first read this, I was like, was Mike the CEO? No, he wasn't the CEO. He was executive producer though of RPGs. A recent press release announced a bevy of moves. It's by the way, is it N World? I'll send you to N World. Moves at the company with former COO, Chief Operating Officer, the Q. Robinson becoming the new CEO. Brian Holland, the marketing director of Chaosium, is becoming the executive producer for RPGs. He takes over from Mike Mearls, who is leaving Chaosium. This is where it gets confusing, folks. He's leaving Chaosium for a full time role at Asmodee, but will remain involved at Chaosium on select projects moving forward, including the new edition of RuneQuest. So now that becomes very interesting, right? I find it interesting because it's leaving but not leaving. Now, Asmodee, which I didn't realize this, is now the parent company of Fantasy Flight Games, Edge Studios. So they have the Star Wars RPG, Legend of the Five Rings. I think they have Arkham Horror or something. They've got a number of titles which I didn't know fell under Asmodee. So, what is Mike's new position? Well, here we will we will snag that in a second here. Mike's new position. We went right to his LinkedIn as of May. I was supposed to pull it up, but it didn't. Damn it. You, you cranky bastard. There we go. So, according to Mike, he is the creative strategy director for Asmodee starting in May. So, there's an overlap because May 2025, but executive producer for Chaosium through June of 2025. So now he is for Asmodee tabletop role playing games executive creative strategy director, and his quote is tabletop role playing games TTRPGs are the best games you can play. If you don't play them regularly, it's because no one has made the right game for you. My job is to change that. Now, if you've been following Mike on social media, especially on X/Twitter, He's been doing a lot of D&D thinking, 5e thinking, how to make 5e a better game. I'm not saying others haven't thought about that, but that's where Mike's efforts have been going into. So maybe that's a little bit of a vision as to what he'll be doing at Asmodee. I don't know. Besides doing that, he's also been running his own the ludological detective agency. This is apparently one of his uh, so one of his own personal projects. Lectures in game design part time at the University of Washington. The man's keeping busy. So, um, interesting. Now, does that mean that Asmodee is a company that we should be looking at? I don't know. I do. Do we need another 5e? Well, unless it's 5e uh, simplified. But remember, he was the driving force behind 5e. So can Mike give us a better 5e? I don't know. He's still working for a corporation. That usually means that you aim for that lowest common denominator. You're not willing to take risks. And I think for a 5e clone to make any kind of impact, you got to take risks. So we shall see. Interesting times, though. Interesting times. As you can tell, I am back from North Texas. Had a great time. Wednesday's live with Mike and Jim will certainly be a recap. I believe we're going to bring Gary Oliver on. Gary is the main organizing force behind North Texas. Bad Mike is like the face man for North Texas. So they work very well together doing such. But should be interesting. Now, I do believe that July is coming up, and usually July or August, the early bird badges go on sale where you can get your North Texas RPG Con badge at a discounted price. So you should definitely check into that. And usually around then, they start finalizing the guests for next June. When I say the guests, the special guests. So again, something to look for. Because, as you probably know, I've repeated this multiple times, the hobby, the founders of this hobby are not getting any younger. So that first generation of creatives, if you want to meet, and Dennis is there, right? Dennis, wonderful guy, love the man. Is I believe he's in his mid 80s. Was back at North Texas, and I knew people who just they were at North Texas. They couldn't find him, but if you're not at North Texas, you're not going to find him, right? And that's what it comes down to. Alan Hammock, Merle Rasmussen, these gentlemen, these founders are getting older. The older they get, the more likely it is that they're going to suddenly stop attending these conventions. So if you have one near you, you see one of these founders of our hobby on the special guest list, on the notable guest list, whatever they call it for that con, consider going. Even if it's only for the day. If you can get to it, if it's drivable. I this year Rich and I are going to 6 cons this year. And I go to conventions to socialize, folks. If you haven't figured that out, those of you who've seen me at conventions, I blab a lot in these videos and the live streams. I blab just as much face to face. I love meeting the viewers. I love being able to put a face to a name or a screen name for people of this community. So, folks, and by the way, North Texas itself, even James Raggy will tell you, it takes conventions to just a different level. It is special. Folks, be safe, be well, God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. I'll be back again tomorrow with another video. I will be back Wednesday with a live stream, Thursday with a live stream, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I will be at Central New York Con. And that should be fun. Okay, so hopefully I'll see some of you there. Be safe, be well, God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. And I'll catch you all later. God bless. Be good.